Gerry, I want to thank you so much for all the help that you gave me to get out of Narconon, and all the ongoing help. Without you and Bonnie in England and Mike in Montreal, and all the help from the Anon people, I know I wouldn't be sitting here today. And it's not a guess, I know that for sure. And thank you very much.
Yeah, well, thank you. It was...
You're an inspiration.
Well, thanks for that. It was a hair raiser, you know, and so far you've come through astonishingly well and are a serious threat to Narconon and Scientology, and you've networked extraordinarily well. You know, you fit right in like an OSA agent. It's amazing.
Well, you know, it's not just the harassment, psychological harassment and abuse and threats that I received at Narconon while I was there, and immediately after being called an enemy on my Facebook by Sue Chubbs, an executive at Narconon. It's not only that, the severe you know, punishment I received, you know, from them that caused me to actually end up in the hospital and in therapy, but it's the other dear friends that I knew at Narconon when I was a student. It's also what they have gone through, what they went through there, and what they're still going through. And I received emails every day from these students that were there. You know, I've got 1,297 emails that have come in the last couple of months. And you know, there's a record of these, and the stories they're telling me about how they are affected by being released from Narconon with not enough support. No transition house, going straight from Narconon, from a horrible environment of drug addiction, and then being released from Narconon 3 to 4 months later, back into the same environment, is a recipe for relapse and disaster. And I have shed many tears with these poor clients. Even to this day, they phone me, and I receive emails, and I communicate with them. And I love them, every one of them. And they trust me, and they know I would do no harm to them, and they know I'm honest, period. It's the facts.
Yeah. You know, one of the tragedies, which, you know, obviously this whole thing is fraught with tragedies, but they get programmed with garbage, and they're programmed especially with the SP doctrine, which alienates them from society largely, and probably contributes to driving them back in. I'm sure it's a universal problem of people getting into rehab and out of rehab and into detox and out of detox and back onto the street. It's a universal problem, but Scientology does not have the solution to it.
No.
And that they're selling these people that they have the solution is fraud on its face, but it's a crime to the victims of this whole thing.
Yes, they come in vulnerable, sick, and lost, confused, and they end up going through a program that is deceptive, and it's done on such a gradient that they take a person and they have them write success stories where it points the finger back to them as Narconon, Scientology being the reason why they're starting to feel better. But in reality, they're starting to feel better because they're around people that love them, people that they love, being the clients, I mean. And it's the time away from the environment of being on drugs. They're not using drugs anymore. They're starting to feel better. But it's turned around so that Narconon gets the credit. And it's garbage.
And even worse, those success stories are going to be used against anyone who dares speak out against what's going on. Scientology does it at all levels, all of their front groups.
Absolutely.
This
Yeah.
success story.
Absolutely. And if you don't write a success story, your program may get stopped. Because obviously you didn't get a success or win, you might have to do that whole book over again. So let's write a success story. I love to write.
Sure.
And I can move on. You know, it's not good. The relapse rate there is absolutely incredible. My post there was the graduate officer, and the 76% success rate that they boast is not true. It's totally 100% false. I've received emails from people who were there that confirm this. I went over the stats that they gave me, that I looked at, and the people who are doing well, which they're guessing, because they can't contact them all, and then the relapses, and then there's people that are unknown, which I was asked to put in this success rate column. Well, no. If you've only got 300 out of, say, 650 that you can prove is a success, you've got under a 50% success rate, which I can prove. Absolutely, 100%. And that's the fraud that's being done on the Canadian public and society. And this is a charitable organization.
Yeah, just on that basis alone, they should be investigated by government, and they should be shut down.
Absolutely, absolutely 100%. Because people going there, that they pay themselves, or their parents pay, or a sponsor pays $23,000 to get there. They're going there with a reasonable expectation that they're going to have a 3 out of 4 chance of succeeding, and all of a sudden it's below 50%. And when they relapse, they deserve their money back.
And their stat is those people who complete the program.
Yeah.
And there's a high percentage of people who do not complete the program.
That's right.
And those people who I imagine would be considered tough cases, Scientology is looking at getting rid of.
Absolutely.
So they don't want to tackle the really hard cases.
Yeah.
They want the cases that are easy and that they can control,
Yeah.
and they can use to pad their stats.
Yes, they call them very valuable final products. Clients, patients, students are classed as products. Something that can produce and bring in more on the pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
And basically that's what it is. How does Scientology get their money out of Narconon? Basically, when they bring in Narconon Canada, ABLE, Narconon International in there for corrections or to make sure there's more money flow coming in, those people are paid hundreds of dollars a day each and every day they're there. Where does that money go? It goes for auditing at the Church of Scientology. In many, many cases. Not every case, of course, because, you know. But that's how the money gets out of Narconon, some of it, to the Church of Scientology.
The organization does the same thing with their orgs, with their churches proper, where they will send in a mission.
That's exactly what happened.
They send in a mission, and then they charge the local organization for these people to come in and screw things up and put in heavy ethics and mess with people's minds and extract money from the organization.
That's exactly what happened. Same thing, eh?
Yeah.
Wow. And of course they're always praying for the clients who come through, that are on the wealthy side, that will stay and get auditing done and whatnot eventually, you know. And they have students that have come through there that are now Scientologists and have gone for auditing and continue to go. And of course that one person can bring in 3 or 4 people, and those 3 or 4 people can bring in another 3 or 4